Hello viewers, I'm SP and welcome back to Endless Legend, where today we're starting a new game as the Vaulters. These seem to be the faction there was the most interest in the comments of the previous episode. The true origin of the Vaulters is lost even to themselves. Their history, as they teach it to their children, begins with a great metal habitat lodged beneath the surface of Auriga. Naturally conservative and wary, the Vaulters have limited relations with the other peoples of Auriga. So the true origin of the Vaulters is not lost to us. The Vaulters are the descendants of the people who survived the prison ship crash in Dungeon of the Endless. The great metal habitat lodged beneath the surface of Auriga that's mentioned here is the underground lab that the escape pods crashed into. And then, of course, the Vaulters are now present in Endless Space 2 as well. So these guys have a plot that runs through the whole Endless series. And you can see here the Mizari. The Mizari are actually the same faction as the Vaulters. They're completely mechanically identical. It's just a skin. It was like a special edition order bonus. I like the Vaulter aesthetic a little bit more. A little bit more of the gray with just highlights of your player color. So that we're going to be playing as them. But there's no reason to pick one or the other except for aesthetics, as far as I'm aware. So the core of the Vaulter thing, our whole deal, is this holy resource. And I should say before I move on, it says main victory type science up here. This is not a passive science kind of faction. The Vaulters are a military faction. They're too good at being military to let that, to just ignore that and play completely inside their cities. So we will be doing more battling than we have in the last couple of games. So we have the ability to designate one of our strategic resources the holy resource. This has a couple of effects. First of all, the way we designate a resource as the holy resource is that we spend some of it like it was a luxury booster. We can, if we have one city, we can spend 10 titanium, just burn 10 titanium to get a boost for 10 turns, like it was a luxury. Doing so makes titanium the holy resource, and then we have special buildings that can only be built out of the holy resource. As you can see down here at the bottom of this tooltip, you get a dramatically increased mining rate for your holy resource during the winter, and all of our military units have the Techno Lover capacity. You can see down there at the bottom of the box. The Techno Lover capacity makes your units get, I believe, plus 50% stats from gear that is made out of the holy resource. So like, in the early game, you get a bunch of Marines, you equip them with titanium bows, then you use a pack of titanium to boost your empire, and all of a sudden your Marines they have a ton of attack and they're doing a ton of damage. So we have a really powerful, like, Era 2 early game push going on as soon as we get access to the Tier 2 strategic weapons. It's going to be a big deal. Also, while the Holy Resource Booster is active, our units can teleport from any city tile that we own to any other city tile that we own. This is great for defense. It's great for marching campaigns. As soon as you take an enemy city, you can teleport your units to it and reinforce that front. They're very, very, very good at fighting. Our Dust Eclipse effect allows us to, while the Holy Resource is active during eclipses, teleport units directly to any army with an assigned hero in the field. Okay, that's interesting. To be perfectly honest, I'm not sure how powerful that is, because we already, while the Holy Resource Boost is active, could teleport to any city we took in the field. I guess the main benefit of this is that if you haven't yet taken a city on like a foreign landmass or something, like if you're trying to establish a beachhead, yeah, that's pretty powerful, right? You could just have one army, or maybe even just a hero, depending on how brave you're feeling, head over to another landmass and then build units while they're traveling and then teleport the units to them as soon as they make landfall and take that first city. Yeah, that's powerful. Okay. We have a Knack for Knowledge. Any terrain tile that has science on it naturally gets 1 extra science. And we get +1 resource on strategic resource extractors. This means that the base extraction rate for strategic resources is 2 points per turn instead of 1 for us. And that does interact the way you would hope with the holy resource multiplier during winter. We get a lot of our holy resource. It's a very, very powerful thing. Over the course of the game, we'll be able to unlock some special buildings like the Deep Generator and the Endless Recycling Center that are made out of whatever the holy resource is at the time. And then, for our military units, our first military unit, our starting unit, is the Marine. So 68 life, 22 defense, as you might expect from an archer, terrible at surviving getting attacked. but 47 attack and 34 damage actually makes it quite a powerful damage unit early in the game, and like I said, that Techno-Lover trait can really, really drive that advantage home. Marines are super good. During the first era, we can research the Dawn Officer. This is a cavalry unit. It's a little bit less damaging and a little bit tougher than a lot of cavalry units. It sort of serves... It's kind of like... It's like a not quite as heavy, but much faster, heavy infantry unit. Unfortunately, still not very good at standing and receiving damage, so they can block for our archers a little bit, but we'll really want the Titan. Once we get into Era 2, we can research the Titan, and this thing is really, really good at standing and taking hits. That Defense Impulse trait, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't remember exactly what it does. I think it makes it so whenever you get attacked, you pulse damage to all adjacent enemies, or maybe the first time per turn. I remember that it's good, and that it doesn't require the Titan to go early in the turn to make use of it. We'll have a look once we actually research our Titans, which we will be doing. And we get to start with Open Pit Mine, which is, that's fine. And Public Library, which of course is great. All those Tier 1 basic resource buildings are really powerful. Alright, do note, down here in the corner, we're playing with Endless Legend Community Patch version 2.2.2. This is the newest release of the community patch. Fixes a bunch of stuff that we'll talk about later. I've left all the world settings on random. I know there are people asking for specific weird world gen things, and I want you to know that I am not ignoring you. I see that. I'll think about it, but I really, really like loading into a heavily randomized map and just having no idea what we're going to find. The exploration part of a 4X game is definitely my favorite part. So, apologies. I hope nobody is upset by that, but I really want to preserve that bit of the game for myself. So the new version of the community patch, the guys working on the community patch are doing a fantastic job. Without getting paid for it. This is ridiculous. I don't know if they have a Patreon or something, but if you can contribute to them in some way, I would say that that's a thing that is worth doing if you like this game. It fixes some of the goofy AI diplomacy behavior. Hopefully, we should no longer see an AI who likes us and wants to be at peace with us suddenly taking us to Cold War for no reason. They say they fixed that bug, which is cool. Unfortunately, it seems like the AI are now going to be smarter about victory conditions and more responsive to other players approaching their victory conditions. That's good for us in that it means the other AI players should help fight runaway AIs, and bad for us in it means that I will no longer be able to just walk to victories while everybody else kind of stands by and cheers me on.
Legend spoke of a great journey beneath the stars. Safe in our halls and minds, we ignored these old tales. But then the Great Quake cracked our halls open, revealing ancient secrets and relics. These unknown relics carried our patterns, our images, hints of a hidden past. We took them and fled the destruction, seeking a new life on the surface. Now the legends and relics of our past show the way to our future. The journey will be dangerous, sometimes deadly. But we go forth without fear or ignorance. For courage and knowledge are the bywords of the Vaulters.
So if you have played the Endless Space 2 Vaulters, that woman is probably familiar to you. She is still the faction leader in Endless Space 2. And wow, noticing again a lot of anomalies tightly grouped around our starting position. However, this looks like it's probably pretty low science terrain, which is a little bit of a shame. We're not getting as many points of free resources as I would like. I'm not going to complain about all of this stuff. Oh, I guess, hold on. Let's remember to make the turn 1 save before we go looking at anything. Okay, let's figure out our settle here. This looks promising. I don't like the fact that we don't have a ton of science, but I do like the fact that we have a ton of food and industry. It's hard to be upset about that. So let's take a little look around. What do we got here? Ooh, okay. This region is a little bit more sciencey and also has some pretty good food right away. Also, I'm noticing coastal water. Like, an early coastal settle could be really powerful for us. I've talked a little bit about how I view the playing the ocean as a pretty high-risk, high-reward sort of playstyle. But man, if you do it right, the reward is really high. Okay, this location right on top of the steel stalks is certainly promising. That's 3 anomalies together. You know what? I'm pretty sure that we've just gotten lucky with our terrain generation several times in a row here. My memory is not of the number of anomalies always being this high. I kind of want to send our hero this way to grab this ruin, but I wonder if... Because obviously I'm looking for early XP here, but I wonder if I might be better off... We have to scout all three directions. Yeah, alright. We should probably do that. Gotta know some things. Wow, look at this region. Look at this whole beautiful landmass that we're on here. It looks to me like we might be on an island map type. We're pretty much like equatorial, it looks like. Pretty well, this is probably not half the map height. But we're certainly further from the edge than we have been the last couple of games. Yeah, we might be on a really islandy map. So, let's talk about potential settles. I like this a lot. Obviously, 20 food, 9 industry with 10 approval, and 3 tiles of science, so we're getting our free point of science 3 times. That's pretty cool. 23.6 over here. Yeah, there's not really any two ways about it, right? This is the correct settle. It is a little bit of a shame that I didn't search this ruin before putting down for the turn, because, of course, there is that one ruin quest that asks you to settle the region, and we could have gotten some free stuff. When I moved this guy off, I was thinking, oh, I'll have the hero grab that, but I really should have thought ahead a little bit more. Well, nothing for it now. It's not a big mistake. It probably won't make any difference at all. But it's always good to give yourself the opportunity to hit the low occurrence positive outcome. So we have great food here. I think we can probably, pull this guy off of food and still get to settle in 2 turns. It does only cut 1 turn off of the Founders Memorial, so maybe I want to stick on food and just really, focus on generating population as quickly as possible. Yeah, that's not bad. So what is our home region minor faction? It's Gelderus, plus 5% damage per village. That's a little rough. I mean, your home region always has only 1 minor faction village in it, so hard to be too excited about. It's very difficult for me to imagine that it is wrong to go for Language Square and Mill Foundry first. The question is, what is the order? If we do it like this, it looks like Mill Foundry is probably going to be finished in, 7-ish turns, which is fine with me. Yeah, let's get Language Square first. I really do want to be able to talk to other people. And we might want to found our second city actually on the coast and try to get some fortresses early. It's dangerous to spend early game resources on things that might not pan out, because your time in the early game is more valuable than your time at any other point in the game. Wasted resources spiral out and become large losses of potential. But, man, if you get some ocean regions early, it is like a game-winning difference. What am I doing? We should look at this way. They call themselves Vaulters. They found me scorched and blackened in an ancient cavern that their people had long forgotten. How long had I lain in that darkness? Only the stars know, but my limbs, rusted and groaning, tell me ages must have passed. I will never forget the looks on their faces, haunted, awestruck, but above all, fearful. The realm that they'd called home, the subterranean paths and chambers that riddled the planet, had come under attack from some cataclysmic force, had shaken and split and ruptured, decimating their numbers. Their leader, the first of the bloodline as she is known, recognized in me something valuable, and brought me back to life in that dusty crypt. For this I will be eternally grateful. I vow to be her faithful servant until the end of days, wherever that may lead. Now they retreat to the surface, where they believe they will find respite, where they hope they will find answers. First of the bloodline, Zolia, has made the first priority the assimilation of the local tribes. While they strike out into unknown lands under the sky's watchful gaze, I will try to remember past days. So the speaker here is this guy, who if you have played Dungeon of the Endless or Endless Space 2, you might recognize as Opbot. In a region that belongs to your empire, pacify at least 1 village of a minor faction and then assimilate them. Alright, well, we're working on it. And the reward for that is a whole bunch of titanium. Titanium is definitely the better of the 2 early game resources, in my opinion, certainly for military purposes. Okay, build 2 extractors to get augmented extractors. We do already have the luxury extractor tech, so this will happen. We'll be able to run dyes pretty early on, it looks like. I guess let's see what's up here. Because it looks like this is an inland lake. This is not coast. I want to see. Let's get a little wraparound on that. And what have we here? 5 glass steel. Well, alright. I'll be honest with you. I would prefer large amounts of dust at this point in the game. Ooh, this is a beautiful region. Look at this. Also, man, the art in this game. God, I love Endless Legend. Alright, let's keep moving. So the good news is, we are in position to have some chats here immediately upon finishing Language Square. Is that the edge of a fortress? Or no, that's a sea ruin. Is what that is. So do I want to fall back and... I don't think I want to talk to these guys more than I want to continue exploring. We do want to talk to these guys immediately, obviously. Oh, what do I do? Yeah, I don't have the thing yet. Now, we could pacify them through violence. Obviously, we do have the cavalry slayer on our militia here, so we're very good at fighting Gelderus, but let's at least give them a chance to offer us beautiful rewards in exchange for very little effort. And if they don't do that, then we can pacify them by force. Alright, show me something good. Bring 8 titanium to the Gelderus tribe. That is potentially doable. Let's see what we get out of the ruins that we're going to search this turn. These guys want there to be no enemies in this region. That probably will happen. It looks to me like we might be on a small island, so I would be very surprised if there was another player here with us. Although it could just be a weirdly shaped landmass. It's part of the joy of the random map. Okay, within 5 turns, search that. I suppose we can pull that one off. And these guys would like me to give them 50 dust. That is exactly all of my dust. That said, we're fairly likely to be able to complete their quest. We have titanium and we have glass steel and a hero already. That's 2 of the possible outcomes for this quest covered. They want the other outcome. Bring 5 titanium. Not to this village, to a different Nidya village. So we now know that this is a 3-village region. Well, that certainly increases my desire to settle here. Has good ocean access. Is this... Okay, this is ocean. There's no weather on inland water, so if you see lightning storms and rain and stuff, that's ocean. Okay, so I'm gonna step up here just to get vision. So should we just attack the Gelderus village? I am unlikely to have enough titanium to pay these guys off and pay these guys off anytime soon. It would be best if we could include the hero for the XP, which I think we might be able to do. If we attack from over here, we'll be down and to the left 2 spaces, so this tile will be in reinforcement range. We can move the hero to this tile, search the ruin, participate in the battle. I think that's how I want to do this. And 3 turns to the mill foundry. We're growing quickly. We're going to have a 3rd population point already. Yeah, this is a good start, I think. March our hero up here. Come on, something cool. Okay, 70 dust. 70 dust is cool. There's just like a lot of ruins clustered together over here. Right, that is a Saratan village, so we can see there's a ruin there that we're going to double search in a second. Then we have this ruin. We probably actually want to teleport our hero over here for this, maybe? Nah, I want to keep exploring. There's a lot of XP potentially, but knowledge. Knowledge is very, very valuable. We move to here. Oh, nope, apparently I'm wrong. This is not... I thought I moved down... Oh, I moved down, but I also changed the orientation of the battle, right? Well, okay. I will wait. I will have this unit sit here for 1 more turn. We'll move the hero to here next turn, and then we'll attack. I think that is worth doing. So I'm seeing a lot of potentially promising settling locations. There we go. Sorry guys, you are asking too much. So they have 4 move each. This location is completely safe because there'll be a unit in front of me, so I think this is where I want to be. Oh, I am a little bummed out about that. I forgot that our hero was going to come in via... You know what? I should have rearranged the armies on the reinforcement page so that the whole city garrison came in first. Alright, well, the good news is I have 4 range. So I could attack this guy from here, which will... he can't actually get to me due to the cliff, right? He'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I get a free shot off. And then the rest of the militia will come in. Our vaulters, or our archers, only have 3 range. But the vaulter hero has 4. Okay, he just went straight for the militia. I appreciate that. Alright, my suspicion is that they are going to be angry at my hero. Let's all focus up here. I think we can endure a turn of attacks, maybe? Maybe I'll get lucky and just kill him straight up. Okay, no, they just want to fight the militia. Works for me. Okay, it would be best if I was not completely hemmed in, but unfortunately, forest makes it pretty difficult to move away. So, Vaulter ranged units have crossbows by default. We should talk about the difference between crossbows and real bows for a second here. A proper bow has the Flying Slayer trait, and generally better stats, but it requires you to use both hands. So 12 attack, 5 damage. A crossbow has 9 attack, no damage, 1 initiative, and the point-blank power trait. This increases your attack when performing an attack at, I believe close range here means melee range. Keep in mind, though, that if you are in melee range of an enemy, you are also losing a point of morale for each enemy in melee range, which means you are losing 15% attack. So point-blank power isn't actually, point-blank power 1 anyway, isn't actually a bonus, it's just partially offsetting a penalty. We might want to go to bows eventually, it'll depend on what other major faction we end up in conflict with. So now we have to think, do I want to pop the hero over here and do the searching and speaking in this area with the hero? Because you know what? This guy doesn't really have a lot else to do. He could come over here and start searching this. It'd slow our roll a little bit. That's not true. He does have something else to do. He could be going over here. He could be coming down this way. So no, we'll keep our forces separate. I know it's a lot of XP, but we gotta learn things. And also, there's people to talk to in ruins to search over here. Pass these Herna's 2 units permanently. Not a thing we're likely to do. We should take a quick look at the legendary deeds here. First to pacify 8 villages gets tactical training. We could potentially do this. And first to have at least 30 units of 1 resource at the end of the turn gets 130 gold. That would be cool. I would like that. We could pull that off. So we got Breakwall, as always. We also got a quest to build the public library, and we will earn Extractor Tech. That's actually a really good quest right now. I am extremely happy that we got that. Oh, and it's time for Lust for Loot. Okay, I'm excited about this. I love Lust for Loot. So I'm going to, I think, we're going to move here. Next turn, I'm going to start by teleporting our hero over to here. We'll talk to that village. It turns out we're going to teleport our hero over here anyway, so teleporting them at the beginning of this turn would have been a lot of free XP. But we couldn't know that Lust for Loot was going to come up. Alright, and easily as obviously, it is time for the Mill Foundry. If I do this, we cut the Mill Foundry production time in half. We're 8 to 28 turns from winter. I'm debating about going for cultivation. I think I want to go for cultivation. We're going to go Mill Foundry into seed storage as quickly as possible. We're just trying to ride that food bonus. I'm gambling a little bit here on not getting a super early winter. Or we could have the hero just run out this way, and we could join the units up later. I think I want to do it now. I want to get the XP for this, since we know we're going to have to teleport the hero anyway. Let's get the XP for this. So Petrov Judit has Army Defense Boost 2 and Science Efficiency 2. I don't remember what our faction quest is like and what they're going to want me to do with my heroes. But I think for now, let's plan to make Petrov Judit a commander, because the ranged class has the best tree. Really, really love plus move, plus vision, plus attack, and plus damage here. And then the range thing is really a really big deal in an army that is going to be primarily a single ranged unit. Plus, a point of movement at this moment is actually pretty relevant. And they would like me to colonize their region, these Galderus over here. That's interesting. Is that a one-village region as well? It is. So if we got these guys converted, it would give us 2 Galderus villages. That's pretty not great, actually. Now let's find that other village over here. So if we rebuild the Galderus village and then assimilate them, we'll have the titanium necessary to complete the quest for the Nidya over here. I'll be honest with you, our quests are not lining up quite the way I would like. We also might, from the second Lust for Loot Ruin, get a little bit lucky here. I'm hoping that we will get a bunch of titanium from this quest, and that might allow us to fix it right there. Return to this village with 3 minor... Ah, man. We are not getting lucky with our quests. So actually, I'm talking about going into cultivation right away. But maybe that's a bad idea, because maybe what I should actually do is build a settler. And if I'm going to build a settler, I should probably change text right now. We put a turn of research into cultivation, which is maybe going to turn out to be a tiny bit of a waste. But I'm thinking, if we settle early, like it would be bad to build a seed storage and then immediately build a settler, because while you're building a settler, you don't get any food, right? All the food from your city is gone. So it would just be completely wasting the building that we just paid for. So yeah, maybe I want to swap this up. If we do end up going settler and delaying cultivation, we might not end up building the seed storage until after winter. Or I might be gutsy and go for the settler and then the seed storage afterward anyway. Maybe we'll get lucky and the winter will be super late. It does happen sometimes. If we were to settle a second city really early, where would I want to put it? There's some pretty compelling land over here. The steel stocks, of course, giving plus approval is meaningful. That said, well, I was about to say settling on the steel stocks means we're not coastal, but that's not true. I could settle here. This is kind of weak coast. Just 2 points of resources each. But it's not bad. It allows us to expand out to the meteor fields with a single tile. It could potentially, depending on how things go here, have 3 points of free population when we put the city down. Yeah, actually, I like that quite a bit, I think. This location doesn't have a huge amount of food or industry, but it has enough, and it's in a science-heavy region. It doesn't have a ton of starting science, but we can expand out into a lot of science tiles. Unfortunately, it does not quite have the ability to level up the cargo docks that we might place in this cove due to the fact that there's ruins in one of the spaces. But I think this settling position has some potential. And it's looking to me like we're maybe not on as small of an island as I originally thought. At first I was thinking that like our island might just be these regions. But we might actually encounter another player here, which means we probably don't want to leave them places adjacent to our starting spot to expand to. Yeah, alright. I think we're gonna change tax here a little bit. If I'm not going after cultivation, what do I go after? We don't need to go after Alchemist's Furnace because we're gonna get it for free from building our library. So, sewers, maybe? Maybe like do this. Move the sewer to the front of the queue. Then we'll plan to make a settler as quickly as possible. Honestly, this is just about all of our dust. We're probably not going to make enough dust here for an early hero. We'd have to get pretty lucky. And this, allowing me to start the settler this turn, or this coming turn, with the extra industry from the mill foundry. Yeah, I'm going to do this. Maybe a little bit aggressive, but I like it. I like aggressive. And then, that's not what I want. Once the settler's done, we probably want to get... Oh, man, we have a lot of stuff to get on. Alright, one thing at a time. Let's not worry about what comes 2 steps from now when we are not yet done with 1 step from now. Oh, hey, we did get that grass silk. So, the grass silk has no benefit for us right now. We will not spend it yet. But at some point, we're really going to want 10 approval. We'll probably... we'll pop this right before we put down the second city, to make sure that we stay up and happy. And what have we here? Tell me it's 10 titanium. It's actually it's nothing. It's a big empty box. Alright, yeah, I definitely want to do sea stuff this game. Let's try to make that happen. Alright, so we got 20 influence. There's 10 quicksilver waiting for us over here. Also, nothing. Also, a great big box of nothing. Hooray! Well, our starting position is really good. A lot of the other things that have happened around our start here have not been so great. So actually, we're getting this settler done way faster than I thought we would. I'm gonna reorder these, because actually we're gonna be able to start building our seed storage right afterward, and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna play for the long summer here. We're gonna be hopeful. This is what characterizes the Vaulters as a people. Hope. So we already got some free influence from Lust for Loot. I'm feeling pretty good about having 2 cities before the first Empire plan. I think this should be a thing that we benefit from considerably. Is there a cliff between me and them? No, there is not. I can talk to him from here. Travel to the Goran village with only a hero in your army and earn their respect by defeating their alpha male. We can absolutely do this, but we can't do it until I can unequip this hero from this marine, which is going to be 2 turns from now. So we'll worry about that in a little bit. Oh, this region's nice. Got the Mycordia right next to the river. There's a spiral rock peel over there, which I think is really cool looking. Yeah, okay. I have some high hopes for our starting terrain here. I'm hoping that this is going to turn into some really good stuff. So the other Nidya village has to be up here, the one we have to actually go to for the quest. That's a little inconvenient. I was hoping we'd find them over here. Go ahead and throw the seed storage into the queue. So we're going to rush to the end of the seed storage, and then we'll figure out whether we want to put people on back on food or not. I want to get that seed storage completed as early as possible. Hold on. Let's do the other army first. Alright, looks like we want to go north around these rocks. I'm a little bummed out about how far apart these Lust for Loot ruins are. So here's a question. Do I want to send this guy up to try to find the other village in Yigodra? Or do I want... Ooh. Well, that answers that. No reason to go this way. That's a necrophage hive building. Okay, well, we know what we're doing early on. That's going to be tough. I am not excited about having to fight necrophages right away. Well, that definitely compels me to want to settle here quickly. Maybe even this settler goes here now. And what I'm thinking there is just that that'll mean we have 2 cities within reinforcement range of one another, which I like a lot. And we can block them from expanding toward me anymore. What is the village type? This is Delvers here. Is it just 1? We don't actually know. This region does have titanium, though, which is valuable. Does the Yigodra has glass steel? Yeah, we might have to settle here first. Neither of these are plus approval. Oh, no, never mind. A botanical garden is totally plus approval. This location can't build anything, though. Like, it has literally 0 industry. We get some population, though, and then we'll build stuff with the people. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. was the quest they gave me? Or did I not... Did I get a quest from them? Oh, I did their quest. Right, their quest was to not have any enemy armies in that region. So actually, free population. Oh good, they're over here too. Ooh, golden tree. Don't see a lot of golden trees. Alright, so we got 10 quicksilver. We also got 10 dye. And now we have the ability to run. Run quickly before the necrophages catch us. Fortunately, there's a forager in that army, so it'll be a little bit slower. Actually, hold on. Before I go running, I didn't actually look at where the next ruin is. Oh, it's that one. Well, you know what? Our hero may have to teleport over to this guy to have a chance of actually getting that in time. So I can do that next turn, right? Looks like the messing with the Gorin is probably not actually in our best interest. If the necrophages have to settle this area, I probably don't want to pacify their minor faction for them. Yeah, this is going to be something. I'll be perfectly honest with you, there's a non-zero chance we lose this game. Due to early aggression on the part of that necrophage player. So we'll see. We'll see. This location... this is without question a worse settle than the one we were going after. However, it is still coastal, and I think on a strategic level this is important to do. The fact that it has no native industry is rough, though. Would I rather settle here? 21,364 versus 25,66. You know, honestly, I think this is the right settle. I think so. And I like that it's coastal. I really like that it's coastal. Okay, that's the plan. So, since we know we're going to do that, I'm debating popping my resource boosters now and just mashing the heck out of the settle button. It would be best to pop the resource boosters next turn, so that we have them for 10 turns of having 2 cities rather than 9 turns. The only possible downside of that is that the necrophages could settle the region while I'm popping my boosters. So the value of the 1 extra turn of resource boosters is small enough that I'm willing to sacrifice it for a little bit of security. And there's not really a lot of sense in holding on to these. Yeah, I think just go ahead and throw down here. Because we won't be able to pop any of them once we settle anyway, right? So those guys are right here. They'll have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, or this space is forested, right? Yeah, so they can't get to us. So I don't have to be in a hurry on this. Okay. Let us make this happen. Region turns orange. It was a 2-village region, so 2 free points of population. Probably we need to focus on industry here. I could do this. We can get a birth next turn and then move both those points of population over to industry. It's worth making the second point of population happen. So let's bring our hero over to here. And, 15 glass steel and 15 titanium. Oh, damn it. Why does it have to be over there? That's exactly the opposite of the direction I want to go in. Well, alright. This army needs to run at full speed in this direction. This guy needs to run over here because we need him to talk to the other Nidya village to pacify them. And then it's worth noting that we now have pacified villages in our region. So if we just assimilate the Vaulters real quick here, we will get our faction quest moving. Which I probably want to do, right? Yeah, I don't know exactly what happens deep in this quest, but honestly, dredges are not even a bad unit for us. As something that can just like stand and take hits while the Marines cower behind it. That's not bad. I'm going to do it, even though the benefit of having Delvers assimilated is a little bit small. Let's move the faction quest forward. That'll fire off at the beginning of the next turn. Warloff is about to have seed storage, and then we got a lot of other things to do. Let's get our public library up so that we can get our extractors up. And we're working on sewer systems. One sewer system in either of our cities probably pushes us back to Fervent. Oh, also, we could do this. So, hold on. We'll come back to that. First of all, somebody hit Era 2, which is great. Lovely. Excellent. My friends have taken the first step in securing their place on the surface. We have a common frontier. Please simplify our lives and stay on your side of it. Hey, that almost sounds like they're not planning to come over here and murder me. I'm not naive enough to believe that, but I appreciate that they're at least speaking that way. First of the bloodline Zolya has taken the first step in securing the Vaulter's future. A strong alliance with the local tribe has been built. Alas, my own progress in uncovering my history has not been so fruitful. My memory circuits have all but failed, and only confusing glimpses of the past cross my electronic mind. I see tormented faces, hear gargled screams, feel the slick touch of warm blood. Memories of the operations I performed? Or something darker? On my chassis is stenciled my droid class, Operation and Medical Procedures Robot. But I am certain I was known by another name. Whatever it was eludes me, though. To save myself from madness, I try not to dwell on these matters. Instead, focus on the plight of my new masters. The legends of their past are awakening. Far beneath the surface, in the excavations that only came to light from the subterranean quakes, they discover more and more ancient relics bearing their sigils. They yearn to unravel these mysteries, perhaps even learn things that will grant them an advantage over the other races that stalk this great planet. First of the bloodline Zolya discusses these things with the fire of a zealot in her eyes. I have a feeling that their story and my own will entwine. For now, my masters concentrate on establishing a more secure foothold on this rugged land. Mines must be founded, while enemies who encroach on our lands must be destroyed. Hey, that's actually very appropriate to the situation we find ourselves in. So, we gotta build 2 new strategic resource extractors. We will do that. We do need to take another region in order to actually make that happen, so Yugodra, the settling of Yugodra is still an early concern, but I don't think we want to do that prior to turn 20. Let's have a look at this situation. I probably just want to get the public library finished. We could move people back over to food, but it doubles the construction time of the library and only takes 1 turn off of the the new citizen. So I think probably let's avoid that. You are just headed kind of generally in this way. You guys are trying real hard to get to that last ruin. If we get to that last ruin, it will give us enough resources to go for a megapole. Not that we will necessarily, but it's a thing we will have the option of pursuing, which I think is potentially pretty interesting. So, we have enough resources now to pop a resource booster, get 20% science for our cities, and make titanium our holy resource. This is probably worth doing immediately. It's hard for me to imagine we want to wait on it. I suppose we could wait 2 turns until the library is done, so that we get absolute maximum benefit out of this, but the fact is, we're going to have enough titanium. I'm not concerned about that at all. Let's run the Empire boost, and we now have a holy resource. We also now have the ability to teleport from city to city. Not super useful in this situation. What are we looking at in terms of build time on a settler? 4 turns? So I probably want to settle this like shortly after turn 20. I want to make sure we get a decent Empire plan at a decent price, which is why I don't want to settle before. But we'll go for this shortly after. So we're about to finish sewer system. We have a pretty good research rate going here. We don't need to get Alchemist Furnace. I kind of think I want to go for boats, like right now boats. Although, I suppose there's an argument to be made that we're already pretty close to broke. I probably need to get Empire Mint, and then boats. Although, boats could solve our money problems. Oh wait, this is an inland sea. This is not actual coast. Shoot. Well, maybe we don't need boats just yet. Maybe I want to wait until that city is founded for boats. I'm going to take this off the queue But I'm not going to put anything else on. I'm not really sure what I want to do just yet. Yes, this is not an island. It's just a very lakey sort of map that we've generated here. How many turns do I have left on Lust for Loot? 6. Oh yeah, we're gonna get there. There is no chance at all that we do not make it. All right, let's find this other Nidya village. When the public library finishes, I guess this city can't immediately build a resource extractor anyway. So, are there luxuries in either of our new regions? There could be over here. Remember, we do want to find one more luxury deposit to build on so that we can take advantage of Master of Luxury and get that double resource extractor. Get those dyes coming out of the ground a little bit faster. But I suppose for right now, we could just focus on the dyes. That being the case, I really want the public library to finish next turn, but I'm not in such a hurry. Oh, apparently we do have to have everybody on this. I'm not in such a hurry on the dye extractor. We could probably pull back to food at that point. You guys could all focus on this. Alright. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous. Got our alchemist furnace. Need to get that titanium. Well, actually, do I want to just build a burrow over the titanium instead, maybe? Once you have the extractor technology, building a burrow on top of a resource immediately starts extracting that resource. You get your extractor for free. So basically, if I think I'm going to build a burrow to here, it's probably worth doing that now, instead of building the extractor now and then later the burrow, and not getting the extractor for free. I do not want to pay for an extractor if I don't have to. There's that other village. Okay, so we're going to get this in a turn anyway, and then I'm probably going to start the settler. So yeah, we don't need to focus on... It doesn't benefit us to focus on food, probably. We're going to do it like this. It looks like, though, we can see the rest of this region now, and there is not another luxury. We might still find a luxury in Tural, perhaps? Where do I see other luxuries anywhere? No, actually. This looks like it may just be a low luxury generation map. If that's a thing. I don't actually know if that's a thing or not. Alright, well, we're doing our best. Alright, let's get paid. Lust for Loot's pretty good. Even if this one did kind of go out of its way to be difficult. We got 15 titanium and 15 glass steel, which puts us in a pretty good position, strategic resource-wise. Alright. They have a unit. Potentially they will have Hernas, which are archers, so that's not great. A big part of our advantage over the necrophages was supposed to be range. It doesn't work if they have the same range we do. Alright, so that's solved, and I think we solved it before the region generated any hostile armies. So, that means that we are now on, what, 6 villages pacified here? If we can do a quest that pacifies 2 more villages, or if we just fight 2 villages successfully, we could push ourselves through Visionary Leader. And we are currently ranked first on that. So there's, we have a couple of quests. The Gorin Games is doable, but it looks like it would only now pacify 1 village because the necrophages destroyed the other one. These guys, we can't do their quest, but we could just... They're Saratan. We could just kill them. I could just teleport my hero over to here and fight them, because Saratan are terrible units. Is her assignment cooldown's up next turn? Yeah, that might be worth doing. A note, she also has Technolover. It's plus 35%. Stats from resources made of the... or stuff made of the holy resource. And it does not affect capacities, so like if we pick up the ability to get the army damage trait titanium thing, making titanium our holy resource will not make us get more army damage. It's just direct stat points are improved. Alright, so Toral's done with this. A megapole has got to be unavailable, right? Yeah, probably. We just don't have... Sadly, in order to get the massive industry-producing megapole, you already have to have quite a bit of industry going. Yeah, I don't know that that's feasible. We gotta get the settler done anyway, and Tural needs other stuff. It's probably, at this point, not a good idea to build the seed storage. We get through it pretty quickly, though. We could go for it. We could also just go for a sewer system, which would probably drag our whole empire up to Fervent, but only for one turn, because then all of our boosters would end right afterward. Still, as it stands now, the city's going to fall back to 60% and still be happy. So actually, the sewer system won't have an effect here until that third city goes down. I think I'm going to focus on the borough. And then we'll build the sewer system, because we'll need it after that. Because the borough is going to reduce our city approval somewhat. And we may want to... I guess... Actually, this borough is going to get done fairly quickly, because the mill foundry is about to finish. That's going to help us quite a bit. We'll probably take a couple turns off. That'll get that extractor going. We'll build the glass steel just an extractor over here, because it's going to be nowhere near our settle. Yeah, alright, I'm spreading myself a little bit thin, which does worry me with necrophages as a neighbor. I mean, you gotta be worried all the time with necrophages as a neighbor. Let's head in this direction. I was kind of hoping there'd be another Saratan village, because I could fight an infinite number of Saratan villages. They are really not powerful. I suppose let's have a look in his territory a little bit. Yeah, for stuff like that. I'm going to go search that ruin. I can do that next turn. And then we're going to run away. And there's Fomorians already out there in the world. Empirement was the right call, by the way. We're already suffering on dust. Okay. I'm nervous. I'm really nervous, actually. Let's see. On turn 20, we're going to be at 69 influence. So we could do this if we'd have to put a lot of people on influence, though. Do we have a quest right now that awards influence? Is there anything we could do? We can't really do that. Too far away. No, we're probably just going to have to do with a single tier 1. Well, obviously, that's the way we go in that case. That's fine. I'm fine with that. We might get influence from the ruin, I guess. That's possible. If we did that, I would probably also take a unit cost reduction. They've come out of their city, I think with the intent of fighting me. Okay. I'm withdrawing my hero quickly. So yeah, we're just going to fight the Saratan here, which is going to put us on 7 pacified villages, and then if I find one... not that. If I find one more village that we can defeat in combat, or one that we can pacify easily through questing, we can get our achievement. Our legendary deed, sorry. So we both go first. They have a lot more health than we do, but 50 attack, 83 defense versus 20 attack, 20 defense. Honestly, there's some possibility that we kill them, but we fail to do it before the end of this first battle. Alright, I want to be standing in the forest, if at all possible. Gives us a little bit of extra defense against a counterattack. I expect they will do poor damage. Okay, so now, I think, unfortunately, the two of them kind of need to switch places. I guess this is 4 spaces. We can do that, and then you can move to here, because I want to stay in the forest. But we have to compensate for the poor Marines' lower range. Okay, that was easy enough. Okay, so that has us on 7. We are still first. We've got to find another village to take out. The Nidjar are already pacified. We could run over here and fight the Gelderis. I actually do not want to fight Gelderis with just archers. They're too damaging and too fast. Alright, so we're about to move up to the next era. I think we're going to skip Dawn Officers entirely here. We'll just pick up Titans in the next era. I'm going to get ships before we move forward. I'm still hopeful about the ship building. It's possible that I'm spreading myself too thin with a predatory neighbor, but I want to give this a shot. Yeah, maybe if we're talking about getting onto the ocean, though, in the time frame that we're talking about getting onto the ocean, maybe it's better we just go with fire ships. We're going to have to actually take sea regions by force. So maybe I should research something else. Aquapulvistics is fine, not great. You know, honestly, pillage might be useful. We haven't really talked about pillaging very much, but pillaging is an army action. You can set your army... we've seen our stuff get pillaged, right? You can set your army near things that enemy cities can build that take up a tile, such as watchtowers or minor faction villages or resource extractors. And you can do fortification damage to them. And if you reduce their fortification health to 0, you get a bunch of stuff. And it also denies the use of them to the enemy for a while. There's no version of this where we make friends with the necrophage. So, honestly, it's a source of resources. Yeah, we're going to do some stuff here. We're going to do some different stuff here. We do need to start building military units, though. Alright, what do we have here? Oh, Saratan. Cool. Alright, let's have a chat with them first, see if they're going to give us a nice, easy quest. Oh, that is probably going to be an easy quest. Unfortunately, I do not know for sure how long it will take us to do it. We're going to do this thing. So here's the question. Do we try to generate some money? I guess we don't have to make the decision this turn. We can try to generate some money to pay them to fulfill their quest naturally and pacify the whole region so that when we settle it later, it will be more valuable to us. Or I could just burn this village down now and make sure that we get the legendary deed. Unfortunately, we do get to see that we are in first place on this, but we don't get to know anything else. It could be the case that there are other people at 6. It could be the case that there are other people at 7, because I think the player always wins rank ties. I think rank ties are won by player number, and it's just the case that if you don't mess with the slots in a game versus AI, you are always the first player. So, we may not have time. We're about to go get a ruin. I could have dust in it. Where's my other guy? He is not about to get a ruin. He really can't do anything of value. Probably the best thing for him is to get the hell out of necrophage territory. And if possible, catch this settler. I don't know where this settler is going. I wonder if they have ship tech. Maybe he's headed down here? I don't know. He better not beat me to any settling positions, though. I shall be very cross. And I can attack him at the beginning of the next turn. So I will. We're gonna mash the heck out of that particular button. I'm gonna just attack these guys. We're at reasonably full health. We're at full enough health to fight some Saratan, that's for sure. Sorry, y'all. Needs must, you know. Alright, how do I want to actually position these troops? We want to move into the forest spaces. We could just run right up on them. I'm like a little bit nervous about sacrificing my morale by moving next to them, but whatever, it's fine. It'll hurt their morale too, because they are also ranged. So the Marine wants to move here this turn. Petrov Judith does not get to move into a forest this turn, but does get to at least stay close for morale purposes. Them being in forest is going to help them a lot, though. Maybe not as much as I was afraid of. I think the plus morale from being next to my ally is going to cancel out the minus morale from being next to them, and I think that should still leave me in a pretty good place. Wow, 60. Good shot. Alright, well, we have secured all of our units 15% initiative for the entirety of the game. That's a pretty good reward. And we didn't really have to do a lot of extra work to do that. It was kind of all... with this, the 2 Saratan battles aside, it was all stuff I would have done anyway, so... And honestly, the Saratan battles are at least good XP. Alright, let's do one more turn here because I want to catch the settler. We won't be able to kill it this turn, but we will be able to make it retreat, and then we can maybe catch it and kill it next turn. Oh, it has 6 movement, though. I will probably not be able to catch it and kill it next turn. Well, we can wound it and chase it. I don't know. I don't know what my play is here. We can catch it and wound it, and then use our settler to catch it and kill it. Because we'll have city garrisons available for all those battles. Yeah. Yep, I like that. Click the hell out of this button. Go get him. Please get him before he moves. Because he'll just retreat, right? Alright, No, do include the why would you not include the reinforcements? Okay. He retreats. He moves to here. Oh, no, he moves to here. And then I pop out my settler. Because here's the thing. This guy won't be able to catch him to initiate combat next turn, but my settler can initiate combat on him right now. He can't retreat. We just keep our settler far away from him, and we kill him, and then I march my settler over to the other region and deal with him. Because otherwise, this guy's going to get to go wherever he's going, and I do not want that to happen. Plus, initiating a battle here will actually reveal these tiles, I believe. Yeah, any tile that becomes part of a battle is revealed to you. You know what? You can just stay back here. You don't have to do anything. The militia have it under control. So obviously, they're going to be very mad at me about this, because not only did I just kill one of their units, I actually killed a point of population out of their city. And I've been pretty aggressive about blocking their expansion here. But let's be honest, they're necrophages. They were going to kill me anyway. It's not like I degraded our diplomatic standing with them somehow. Oh, 5 more titanium. That's fine. This is... Yeah, that is part of a village. So I'm going to walk in the other direction first. Let's see what's up in these tiles up here. And then we'll try to make it up to the Saratan by accomplishing whatever quest they want of us on this this next part. Well, I have to say, I'm pretty pleased with the seed storage. I think it worked out well. What do we want to build before winter? I probably want to build the Gelderus thing, or sewer system could be good. I guess this village is about to fall to 60 again, so we'll still be happy. We don't actually need the sewer system. We could pursue the megapole. We'd have to get... I don't know if that really works out for us. You know what? I'm going to think about this. There's a couple of options we could take here. We could build our Gelderus village to get that point of population functioning. We could just go straight into the Empire Mint because we are actually losing money pretty rapidly, and this would help a lot. We could pursue the sewer system because it generates influence more than because it generates approval. Although we will, we will need this approval after we set the next city down. I don't know. Something to consider. We're 2 turns from entering the second era. I think things are going okay. I'm really nervous, though. I think there's a chance I just get devoured this game. But that is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Of course, I will pop the save in the description below, so feel free to play along. And we'll see you next time.